As the journey moves into this next stage, you begin to realize that everything you've built so far has quietly prepared you for something deeper, not just growth, but ownership. Because now you are no longer following a path, you are defining it, shaping it in a way that reflects your thinking, your experience, and your vision. And this realization changes your entire mindset from execution to leadership, even if you are working alone. You start to notice that your decisions now carry identity. Every topic you choose, every word you write, every tone you deliver becomes a reflection of what you stand for. And this awareness makes you more intentional than ever, because you understand that consistency is no longer just about frequency. It is about maintaining a clear and recognizable voice over time. At this stage, your creative confidence becomes quieter but stronger, not based on external validation, but on your understanding of the process. Because you have seen enough to know that results come and go, but the ability to create with purpose remains. And this stability allows you to keep moving forward without being affected by short-term fluctuations. You also begin to refine your standards even further, not in a way that creates pressure, but in a way that creates clarity, knowing what level of quality represents you, what kind of message aligns with your vision, and what should be left out. And this clarity makes your work more focused and more impactful. But along with this refinement comes the challenge of staying open, because the more defined your style becomes, the easier it is to become rigid. And this is where you consciously remind yourself to remain adaptable, to keep learning, to keep exploring new perspectives so that your growth does not become limited by your own patterns. Your awareness of your audience also becomes more refined. You understand not just what they respond to, but why they respond, what they are searching for beneath the surface. And this deeper understanding allows you to connect with them in a way that feels more meaningful and less transactional. At the same time, you begin to value depth over speed, recognizing that taking the time to think, to reflect, to craft your message carefully often leads to stronger content than rushing to produce more. And this shift helps you maintain quality without losing consistency. You also start to see your journey as something that extends beyond the platform itself, understanding that the skills you are developing, communication, discipline, awareness, are shaping you in ways that go far beyond content creation. And this perspective adds another layer of meaning to your work. As this phase continues, you realize that your greatest asset is not just your content, but your perspective, your ability to see clearly, to think deeply, and to express ideas in a way that resonates, and this becomes the foundation of everything you create moving forward. In the end, this stage teaches you that true growth is not just about expanding outward, but about strengthening inward, about building a clear sense of who you are, what you stand for, and how you want to contribute. Because when that foundation is strong, everything you create carries more weight, more clarity, and more lasting impact. As the journey moves into this stage, you begin to experience a shift that is less visible on the surface but far more powerful internally. Because now your growth is no longer driven by urgency or pressure. It is driven by clarity, by a deeper understanding of what you are doing and why you are doing it, and this clarity gives you a sense of direction that removes confusion even when challenges arise. You start to notice that your decisions become simpler, not because the journey is easier, but because you have learned to filter what truly matters, to focus only on actions that align with your purpose. And this ability to prioritize becomes one of your strongest advantages, allowing you to move forward without being overwhelmed by unnecessary options. At this stage, your creative process feels more natural, less forced, because you are no longer trying to prove anything. You are expressing something, and this shift makes your content more authentic, more grounded, and more impactful, because it comes from a place of understanding rather than pressure. You also begin to recognize the value of consistency at a deeper level, not just as a habit, but as a form of discipline that builds trust, both with your audience and with yourself. Because every time you show up and create, you reinforce your identity as someone who follows through. But even with this stability, you remain aware that growth requires continuous effort, that staying at this level is not automatic. And this awareness keeps you engaged, focused, and willing to keep refining your work rather than becoming complacent. Your understanding of impact becomes more subtle. You start to see how even small changes in your content can influence how people think and feel. And this awareness makes you more intentional with your message, ensuring that what you create carries meaning rather than just noise. At the same time, you develop a stronger connection with your own journey, appreciating not just the results, but the process itself, the lessons learned, the challenges faced, and this appreciation makes your work feel more fulfilling. because it is no longer just about outcomes. You also begin to see the importance of maintaining balance, understanding that your energy, your mindset, and your focus all play a role in your ability to create effectively. And taking care of these aspects becomes part of your overall strategy. As this phase continues, you realize that your strength lies not just in what you create, but in how you think, how you approach problems, how you adapt to change, and this mental framework becomes a key part of your long-term success. In the end, this stage teaches you that true progress is not always loud or visible. Sometimes it is quiet, steady, and internal. But it is this kind of growth that creates a strong foundation, allowing you to continue moving forward with confidence, clarity, and purpose.